Hey guys, this is Joseph Locero with Powerlifting Technique, and today we're going to talk about the unwritten rules of powerlifting competitions. So we talked in the previous video about some of the ways you want to go about powerlifting competitions and some of the biggest errors you can make. But when it comes to the rules, competition, and the process of powerlifting, there are some unwritten things that you need to be aware of. So when you go up to your next competition, you'll be successful and have a much better performance. In this video, I'm going to start with the fifth and build up to the first. So by the end of the video, I'll give you my number one unwritten rule for powerlifting and some ideas on how you can be more successful with your competition ability. So stick around, engage in this topic. Let's have some conversations below to discuss powerlifting and maybe some of the things I missed in this video or some questions you have and want some answers to. My fifth unwritten rule for powerlifting competitions is respect other people's space and gear. It comes from a personal narrative of mine. I was in a competition once and they ran out of chalk, and I saw someone's back with chalk on the floor, picked it up, grabbed it, used it, and they snatched it from my hands and said, "Don't you ever grab my chalk again." Now, you got the PG version, you didn't get the rated R one, but it was a lot more aggressive, and it was one of my first competitions. So make sure that you respect people's space and their gear, and don't just assume that it's up for grabs. I know that kind of sounds like a silly unwritten rule, but you would be surprised on how at certain competitions, people bring certain things like foam rollers, chalk, for knee wraps, they bring that little device to wrap them up. Whatever it is, don't assume it's yours. If you want to ask for help, ask. Even baby powder, just ask. The number 4 unwritten rule of powerlifting is making sure to help people in the loading area, the warm-up area, really. I personally was a little bit of a selfish lifter. I just wanted to do things on my own. I didn't want people's help, nor did I want to help people. But I learned the more I competed, the more often you're going to see people at these competitions. It's a big community, but it's kind of not at the same time. When you're getting ready for competition and you're loading up the warm-up area, you're adding a plate, another plate, another plate. If someone wants to jump in, maybe be open-minded about it, because guess what? If you're warming up and need some help, that might be the same person that wants to help you as well. And you never know what kind of friendships you're going to make in powerlifting. So it's good to make more friends than enemies in this case. Try not to be selfish with your outlook on competition. The third unwritten rule, bring snacks. You got to be very aware of this situation. So when you go into powerlifting competitions, the last thing you want to do is leave the meet. So let's say with powerlifting, not let's say, but in powerlifting, you'll have flights like flight A, B, C, D, or maybe just flight A or B. I'm talking about the order of competitors. Like you might be the first group to go, the second group. Let's say you're the second group to go. And you're like, okay, I'm done with my group. There's another group after me. I'm gonna go ahead and leave, grab food, and come back. Don't assume the order of the meet's gonna stay that way, because I've done it myself. I left the meet to get food, came back, and I was one of the next people to lift. It happens. You gotta be ready for it. And why leave if you just have some snacks and can maintain your hunger and not add any more stress to your plate in that sense? Or just ask someone else to go get you food. But ultimately, end of the day, bring snacks. You're gonna get hungry, you're gonna get anxious. Just be prepared. There's no reason to try to leave the meet if it's not necessary. So the number 2 unwritten rule that I believe occurs in powerlifting is keep track of your attempts. So don't get out of order. Here's a story. We were in a competition, not myself, but a client. We were in a competition and my client was about to go, and he walks up and the name was wrong. And I said, "That's not so-and-so." And they said, "Oh, so-and-so already lifted." And I said, "No." So if you're confused right now, let me explain this. My client, we'll say client A, all right, was about to go. But another person B, went instead of client A. So instead of my client getting to go, they went ahead. And they assumed it was their turn because they were lifting the same weight. So you gotta make sure you follow order and you pay attention. Because if you just assume, the deadlift's 400 pounds, oh, it's my turn because I'm lifting 400, there might be 4 or 5 people that are going at the same weight. So do not assume. stay focused and make sure you're paying attention. Now, with all that being said, that leads me to the number one unwritten rule of powerlifting competitions, and it's to support all lifters, regardless of skill level. So it kind of reminds me back on the warm-up area. You want to respect the other people in the warm-up area. Don't just act like you're above them. So I've seen some competitions where teams go and they kind of stay in their little group, which is fine, but they kind of act like they're better than everybody else. They'll go, they'll take almost all the weight. Like, I've been to some competitions, there's not enough weight in the weight room area, and it almost happens to be some group just steals it all. So instead of sharing the wealth, they just do, what they need to do for their team, not for everybody else. So you want to make sure, whether it's respecting someone to their face or respecting the space in general, you want to support all lifters. Don't act like you're above anybody. We all started this sport because we were inspired by someone else, maybe someone who was stronger than us, or, gave us the introduction. We respected them. Someone else might be looking at you too and thinking that you are their inspiration as well. So making sure that you respect everyone just helps keep our community safe and welcoming and hopeful to thrive. Powerlifting now has gotten so much bigger than it was then, but there are opportunities where people can ruin that aura of powerlifting, and we don't want that. We want this to be a welcoming sport, to allow people who might have not thrived in other sports to have that opportunity and that platform to elevate. So make sure you support everyone else in the sport and the space that is provided to you. So those are my unwritten rules of powerlifting. Not saying that you, have to follow them, but they are things that you need to consider in order to be successful. So click the subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment. Let's engage in conversation. Maybe our conversation goes into another topic. I'll make a video about that topic. Whatever it takes for us to feel better as lifters and more supported. That is my goal, and I really want to be able to impart wisdom on others when it comes to the world of strength training. So again, this is Joseph Locero with Powerlifting Technique. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and we'll talk to you soon.